Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the iTeachers webinar today on how to offer online continuing education courses. Today we're going to cover everything from creating the class to creating content and lessons, whether that be video or audio or otherwise, creating the quizzes and assessments to go along with that class, uploading certificates of completion, creating the welcome and landing pages, how to set prices, and the student checkout. Right now you're looking at the iTeachers e-learning system, which we're going to use today to demo how to set up the course. Online continuing education courses have become really big in the last few years. In fact, last year, online self-paced continuing education courses accounted for about a $40 billion revenue cycle across the globe. So it's fairly big, and that is a lot considering that online education alone was about 60 billion. So it represents about 40 billion of the 60 billion total of online education. So it's a really big industry right now, especially if you're a school and you already have potential customers, meaning your alumni. It could be a pretty quick launch, and it creates a lot of great passive revenue, because once these classes are created, you really don't have to do anything. It's very much hands off. You have to go ahead and offer your clients and customers and students great content, which I'm sure is what you have. So we're going to go ahead and start the webinar here. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and log in to the system. And once we're in the home page of the system, we're just going to go ahead and highlight classes on the left-hand side here. When we highlight classes, we're just going to go ahead and click Add, and we're going to add class. And we're going to call this CNA Continuing. And down here we have the options of 3 different course styles. We have instructor, blended, and self-paced. Most, if not all, continuing education courses are self-paced. The major difference is that an instructor-led course gets a start date and an end date, which you can see right here. So if you had a cohort of students starting on, say, September 1st and ending on October 1st, and those are the dates the class was open, you would have an instructor-led course. If you're going to have a course where you create the content and then students can just go ahead and take that course at any given time, it's self-paced. So once we click on self-paced, we're going to give it a duration. Let's say this course is 3 days. And then we're just going to go ahead and pick a subject. I'm going to go ahead and pick health for this one. And I click save. And that's all I have to do to go ahead and create the course. As you can see on the top here, it shows me now I'm in my CNA Continuing Education course. And everything on the left-hand side deals with that course. The great thing about creating a self-paced course is that it's very simple. Everything on the left-hand side is simple. In a traditional instructor-led full online course, you'd have a lot more options here on the left-hand side, which I'll show you in a few minutes. But in a self-paced continuing education, these are the only tabs that you will need. So the next step is, once you've created the course, is to how to create the content for the course. So you create folders of content, and if you were in an instructor-led course, that content is usually given by a time frame, meaning like a week, a day, a month. In a self-paced course, they traditionally give the lessons or the folders of content by topic. And so we're just going to go ahead and add a folder or lesson, and we'll call this one Privacy Rights. So once we actually go ahead and create the folder or the content, we have to add content to that lesson or that topic. So once we create, we have 2 options here. We can add a page or we can add an assignment. A page is any content that's not going to grade. That may be video, audio, images, uploaded PDFs, Word documents, etc. An assignment is anything that gets a grade. So what we're going to do here is we are going to go ahead and add a content, and we're going to add it as a lecture. Right, so let's go ahead and add a page. And there's two different ways to do a lecture. You can either embed your video lecture from an outside source, like a Vimeo, which I'll show you in a second, or you can just go ahead and create a lecture using the iTeacher's content authoring system. So let's just say we have a lecture here. We're going to just call this video lecture. And let's say I want to embed my video lecture. All I do is go to Vimeo. Okay, now Vimeo is similar to a YouTube, except it's just very private. It gives you the ability to upload all your video lectures, which you can create using PowerPoint. And you just go ahead, you upload them as videos, and it will host all your videos for you. And I'm going to go ahead and embed this video into the system. So first thing I do is I click Embed in Vimeo. I go to the size, and I always like my videos to be at 750 by 563. So then I just go right here, I copy that code, and I go back to my system. And when I'm in the HTML editor, I click the area that says source code, which is the two arrows pointing away from each other. I click that and a box pops up. And I just go ahead and I paste the code in there, and I click save. I'm just going to go ahead and take this little thing out. And now my video lecture is just streaming directly in the system. So that's one way to offer a video lecture. The second way is, like I said, is just to go ahead and create it directly within the system. So if I add it, I'm going to add a page again. And I'm just going to call this lecture, not video lecture, I'm just going to call it lecture. And I'm going to go ahead and upload an image. So essentially, think about it as if you were in a classroom and you are doing a lecture. Maybe you're using PowerPoint and visuals and you're lecturing in front of those. Well, we're going to do the same thing online. We're just going to go ahead and add that resource. And then I'm just going to go ahead and resize this image a little bit by dragging the corner, similar to how you do it in Word. So now you can see I've added the image. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and add audio. So I'm going to record my lecture. So there's a little microphone we have here, which allows you to record audio. And I just click on that. I'm going to allow this. And I'm just going to go ahead and record. And you can record your lecture as long as you'd like it. And go ahead and stop. And I'll save that. I click save from the box here. And that's it. I went ahead and I've created a lecture. And now I have my play bar down here as well for the lecture. So two really, really simple ways to create those lectures. And what's great about both ways is that both of these lectures, set up the way they are, will be available across all platforms, which is really important nowadays, to have your students be able to access these courses on their phones and their iPads and Androids. So now you can see I have a folder called Privacy Rights, and in that folder I'll show the sections of it, and I have two pieces of content in there so far. So let's say I add the content and I want to go ahead and I want to add a assessment, so a quiz. I go ahead and add an assignment, and then I just go ahead and I pick the type of assignment I'd like to add. So although you have all these options available to you in a course, most commonly in continuing education courses you would only use a quiz. And that is because the system itself can grade most types of questions for you, so you never have to go in there and manually submit a grade. So we're going to call this quiz Privacy Rights. And here we can give instructions. Let's say you want to give them 5 minutes to complete the quiz. And I click Save. So now I've created the skeleton, the outline of the quiz, and I'm just going to go ahead and add questions by clicking on the Questions tab. And then I add questions, and these are the different types of questions that I can ask. So I can add a true-false, I can add a multiple choice, I can add a multiple choice with more than one answer, a fill-in-the-blank, a free-form, or matching. The only one the system will not score automatically for you is a free-form. And the free-form is something that has an essay response to it. So you need to go and grade that manually, but everything else the system will automatically grade for you. So let's say I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a true and false question. Let's say, and I just picked the right answer, true or false. Let's say I picked true on this one, and I'm going to add another question. Let's say add a multiple choice. And a B or C, and then obviously you can randomize the questions, how they show up for each student, or you can keep it in the original order. Another option you have in the questions is to go to HTML mode. And if you go to HTML mode in a question, what that does is it gives you the ability to go ahead and add images, audio, files, links. You can essentially add anything you'd like to a question or an answer. So if you want your question to include charts, diagrams, etc., you can go ahead and do that. So let's just go ahead and go back to text mode, and we'll say choose one. Now let's go ahead and return to the assignment. So now if I go to the overview and I edit this quiz, these are all the different options I have for the quiz. So I can choose how many attempts we want to give each student. Let's say we choose 2 on this one. And then we have the ability to make this a gateway assignment. Now, this is specifically used for continuing education courses. If I click that and make it a gateway assignment and give it a minimum pass rate, let's say I say 80%, what that's going to do, it's going to let the student know that they need to pass this assessment before they can, number one, complete the course and get their certificate of completion, or number two, move on to the next lesson, depending how it's set up. And then we said we want to time this quiz, and we gave them 5 minutes. And we click Save. And that's done. And let's say we want to go ahead and test this quiz to see, make sure it looks okay. I take the quiz, I can see my timer is on, which is good. And I can just go ahead and sample this out. Good. Now I got a 50%. All right, so going back to the lesson here, we've created a lesson called Privacy Rights, and we've added a couple of pieces of content to it in a lecture form, and we added the assessment. And as you can see, that little lock now shows up next to the assessment to let the student know that they need to unlock that quiz before they can go ahead and move forward. And then you can just go ahead and create in a linear way module 2, and so on and so forth. So you can create different folders of content, and then the student would have to complete all that content before they finish the class. Simple as that. All right, so let's say we want to go ahead and upload the certificate of completion. What I would do is I click on the little three lines up here, and I'm going to go down to Resources, and we're going to go ahead and add a resource. When we add a resource, these are the different types of resources that you can add to the system. We're going to go ahead and click on Certificate. And we'll call this Certificate 1C. And we'll just go ahead and copy this and put it right in the description as well. And the subject, we'll just pick health. and we'll share this across the school. So you have options here. So a lot of the stuff in the resources will ask you if you want to keep this resource personal or you want to share it across the school. So what that does, it gives you the ability to share resources with other instructors. So if an instructor goes to create a course and they want to see what resources are available for them to use, you can have a library of things that other people have submitted within the school. So we're just going to go ahead and create that, and then we just go ahead and upload that certificate here in the PDF, and that's the certificate the student will get when they're done with the course. You can leave some empty fields for course name, their name, the date, will all be merged into that certificate. So now, if I go back to the class, CNA Continuing Education, I'm just going to go to Configure, and I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom, and I'm going to add the Certificate of Completion. And we call the certificate 1 CNA CE. Let's do that. And that's it. So now this certificate is associated with this class, and when the student finishes it, they automatically get that certificate of completion to go ahead and print out. So something else we need to do before we actually offer this class is we actually want to set a price. So in the same area, under Admin and Configure, an Admin and Configure of a course is where all the magic happens here. So if we just go down, Admin Configure, and we edit the e-commerce area, we just go ahead and we set a price. Let's say we charge $99 for this course. And the last thing I want to do before I go ahead and offer this course is I want to change two things. I'd like to change the picture of the course, and I want to put the course description in. Right? So when you create a course and you pick the topic health, it automatically just gives you a default picture. And we're just going to go ahead and change that so it makes sense. For this course, we'll add the medical logo. And we change that picture. And now we also just want to go ahead and click on Edit. And we want to put in you topics in there, and then we'll say upon eight new education credits. And then you have the long description, so if you want to add images, audio, video, just to make it look really nice and a way for you to kind of promote and advertise the course in the course description area, you can do that. We'll add the medical logo again. Actually, you know what? Let's add the different. So we can just add a little CNA picture here. We click Save. And voila, we've created the course. So today we've created the class. We showed you how to create lessons, how to embed videos, how to create lectures directly within the system using the content authoring, how to create assessments, quizzes, and how to upload certificates, set prices, and change the picture. So we've done everything. This is now how it looks from the public view. So when you have your own e-learning system, students come to the public area, they click on the catalog, and let's see. I guess we put this under HIPAA. So we put CNA Continuing Education. We have a self-paced course of which is 30 days long and costs $99. I click on this course. As you can see, I had the picture just uploaded. I get to see how many continuing education credits I get. And keep in mind, this Canon should be a lot longer. It shows me the certificate I get when I'm done and the lessons that are covered in this course. And then I just go ahead and I add to the cart. And we go ahead and we just check out. Now, when we go ahead and check out, we are asked to create an account or sign into an existing account. If we go ahead and create an account, we just go ahead and type student 1, and we'll just type in on the user ID and medical. And we'll leave everything else empty. I click continue. It's going to direct me to PayPal, where I can go ahead and complete my checkout. And how we set this up is we set it up that PayPal talks back to your individual e-learning portal, or be your PayPal account, talks back to your individual e-learning portal. So it lets the portal know that the payment has been processed, it's been made, the payment has gone through, the money is in your account, and that student can now access the course, and that happens instantaneously. So as soon as the student finishes their checkout, they are able to go ahead and access the course right away, take the course, and go ahead and get their certificate when they're done. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today. We were happy to show you all this stuff, and if you have any questions, you can always contact us. We are at www.iteachers.com, and we are happy to help you, show you how to set up your own personalized individual continuing education courses. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great day. Again, if you do have any questions and you're in the chat room, please feel free to let us know now. We'll go ahead and answer those for you.